Hello, amazing souls. Welcome to the Champagne Empress Podcast, where you get to step into your power and embody the life you desire. I'm your host, Georgette, a life and embodiment mentor. I guide women into the journey of embodying their ultimate self-expression to manifest their dream life and tap deeper into their feminine frequencies so they could have all they have ever desired. If that sounds like you, welcome. So today, let's dive into the rise of the Champagne Empress. So who is the Champagne Empress? I am the Champagne Empress. You are the Champagne Empress. But are you embodying her? So who is she? She is an empowered woman who is the muse of her own life. She is living a life inspired by her wildest dreams. When she walks into a room, she commands attention. Not because she needs it, not because she craves it, but because of her magnetic essence. She aspires to fully self-express in romance, in luxury, in love, intimacy, pleasure. She's drawn to luxury experiences, deep soul connection, and breaking free from societal norms. She yearns for the freedom to explore her desires. She lives life on her own terms and truly devoted to create a life she loves. She is a woman who knows herself, a woman who rises into the ultimate task of knowing who she is on this earth. It is a woman who constantly evolves to the best she can ever be. She rises when surrounded by fears. She rises when she's in the darkness. She rises in the unknown, yet still remaining grounded into who she is. She's a true embodiment of grace, love, luxury, able to recognize her feminine power. She is the queen of her own empire. So today, I want to walk you through the story of how I rose into becoming the Champagne Empress. I want to inspire you into finding that Empress in you so you could rise, because we are here, this earth, as a collective. When I rise, you rise. We all rise. Once upon a time, I was in a relationship that drained every inch of my soul. Staring into my son's eyes. 7. The same age I was when my parents got divorced. This internal battle of, I don't want to break my family. Yet, if I leave, I could be able to show my son the power of love, the happiness that love can actually bring. By now, I knew I deserved better. I have known that walking away was the best choice I could make as a woman, because I grew to trust myself. I grew to love myself. 4 years in turmoil, I was shedding the last skin of freedom. So I kept asking God to set me free. I did all the work. I worked on my communication skills. I worked on my intuition. I did inner child work, and every time I've asked, it wasn't time. So I surrendered deeper into my body, surrendered deeper into my soul. So on a lovely Tuesday afternoon, I heard the voice. It's time. And I got up. I knew what time it was. I didn't question it. and I started looking for places. I didn't want to be too far from my son's school. I wanted to keep that same environment that he knew. But how? I didn't have any savings. I wasn't ready. I've asked for it for years, yet I didn't know I would ever be ready. So I started looking, and every place didn't feel right. On Wednesday, found a place, made an appointment to see it Thursday. I saw it. Not my favorite, but at this point, it was better than anything I had. It was 5 minutes away from the school. That should be fine. Saturday come. I woke up ready to go give my application and pay for the fees. I heard the voice again. And it said, not yet. So again, I didn't question. I went back and started looking again. And there it was. This place that exactly what I described in my journal. I called the realtor. She's like, I can't show you this house today. I have to go to an open house. And I said, listen, I'll send you my license. Take a photo of it. Give me the number of the logbox. She's like, okay. So I went to see this place. When I got in, it smelled old. It looked old. I went to the bathroom. I'm like, I wanted an incredible bathtub. I wanted a newer kitchen with a nice white island. I'm standing in the middle of the place, and I said, I didn't want this old place. But then I heard the voice. It said, yes, this is it. This is the place. And I'm like, nope, this is not it. I want something newer. But yet, it was open. It was big. It was everything that my soul wanted. So I said, okay. I left the place. I told the realtor, okay, send me the lease. She sent me the lease on Sunday. And mind you, I haven't rented a place in years. And I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get this apartment? How am I going to be qualified for it? I haven't had a normal paycheck. I haven't paid rent in a long time. How am I going to do this? I trusted and I filled out the application. I sent whatever I needed to send. By Monday, she told me, okay, it is yours. You're all set. I was mind blown. Mind blown. I couldn't believe how fast this moved, and it felt effortless. And that's when I started experiencing how I truly feel to walk with my intuition. It didn't make sense. I didn't understand it. I didn't have to. It was super easy to do because I was being led. So I signed the lease. It was the busiest month, busy wedding season. So when I told my co-parent that I was moving, he said to me, are you sure? Because I said it so many times that I wanted to move. I wanted to go, and he didn't believe it. But this time I said yes. I signed the lease. And mind you, he still didn't believe it. So come moving day, My church people rallied for me. They came to help me move. They just helped me pack every single thing. I was in shock. I was so loved. And I went to the place to get the keys. And the lady said, okay, give me the first month rent. And here I am. I'm like, wait, what? I thought I paid a deposit before. Well, turns out, people, if you forget how this whole thing works, you give a deposit and then you give your first month rent. And I didn't have it. And I'm telling you, I went and I said, God, are you sure this is the move you wanted me to make? Because I don't understand what I'm doing. So there's a little hiccup here. So I call my family and I'm like, I'm in a pickle. I'm moving and I have no money. I don't know what to do. I need to pay the first month rent. Of course, I had income coming in. I could give it back. But at this moment, I didn't have it. So anyways, long story short, it was a lot of crying in those moments. And I had meetings that I needed to attend for my clients. But you know what? The universe came through. I found the money. And I went and I gave the first month rent. And I got the keys. And next thing I knew, the ground people started coming. I had a cleaner that I'd already hired to clean the house, and she came clean. And here's the thing with that one. I knew how to embody the life I desired. It was not yet manifested into this realm, but I knew what I desired. I desired someone to thoroughly clean my home. And I knew some people asked, well, why don't you do it yourself? I wasn't being the person I was currently. I was embodying my future self in that moment. And while all of this is happening, I'm in tears because I'm like, how am I going to do this? I couldn't even pay my first month rent. How am I going to continue on this path? I've never lived alone before. I've had roommates in the past. I've lived with my parents. I've lived with someone, but I've never lived alone where I had to be responsible for everything in the house. I was broken. So I thought, yet my spirit knew this was the best decision. My co-parent told me, you know what? You could cancel every single thing and come back home. And I remember that moment. I said, if there's one thing I for sure know about, is that I'm supposed to move. And I moved. The first week, I sat on the floor on a pillow eating dinner because I couldn't unpack anything. And I didn't have my furniture yet. They didn't arrive. I didn't have a table. I had nothing. It wasn't until January until I finally unpacked everything. So imagine the first couple weeks, me and my son on the floor, eating on top of one of his little toy box. Yet it was one of those moments that I could share with him that was really raw, transparent. It was something different for him. So for me. Yet we sat, shared stories. Till this day, we look back and talk about it. I can't say how grateful I am. Because that move, though it was so hard, has led me to where I am today. It was not easy, but it was the best decision. And little by little, everything started to be in place. And I remember, this is when the rise of the Champagne Empress started happening. I was deep in my intuitive work. I was deep into embodying all my standards. I knew what I wanted. And I was determined to walk that path, the path of the unknown, the path where freedom calls me, the path where love is mine, the path where I get to walk into my essence. I get to be seen for who I am, not for someone that I barely recognized. And this move was the rise of everything I am today. After I moved, the energy shifted so much. Everything in my life opened. My clients started coming in like crazy. I'm like, wait, what? My business started doing so much better. I started seeing how the path I chose to walk was mine to take. And I got to do more inner work, and I raised my standard because I knew who I was. I don't walk around and say, I deserve this, I deserve that. No. Because I get to embody my standards. I don't have to tell you what I deserve. If someone doesn't see it, they're not mine to keep. They were never mine. People who get to be on the path of the Champagne Empress get to be surrounded by her beauty, by her power, by her essence. Your life also gets to shine. Your life gets to get better, because when the Champagne Empress walks into a room, it is not just because of her. It is for the collective. So as I rose to embody the life I desired, as I rose to embody the Champagne Empress and me, I got to be better for everybody else. I loved better. I communicated better. I became a better mom. I became a better lover, a better friend. I became more grounded into the present. I became the woman I desired to be. And through embodying her, I got to experience the most magical moments. The Champagne Empress is a woman who manifests from her feminine frequencies. And let me tell you what happens when you get to do that. So much magic. Because you're here to live a life that is unbound by any tradition, by any societal beliefs. You get to walk the life that God, the universe, your higher self, put you on this earth to walk. And it is your duty to walk this path. It is your duty to walk with the fear of what society have built. So today, the new era has begun. It is the beginning, a new day to embody that life. It is your time to let go of all the things you thought were impossible. It is that time for you to claim that new beginning. If you feel like you're in a marriage that's dying, there's a new beginning. You could either rise up and be the woman and see the change in your marriage, or you could rise up also and see a new path carved out for you. But what you don't do is stay in the fear because you're afraid. My worst fear was becoming a single mom. But I walked this path because being a single mom was the best decision for my soul, for my peace, for my son. I chose to walk away from my ultimate evolution, so my son could also have the opportunity to see how life gets to evolve, how life gets to be magical, how love is everywhere. He gets to live a happy life. So I tell you, You might find yourself and you might think, how do I rise as the Champagne Empress? Claim it today because you are the Champagne Empress. Just embody her. And throughout this podcast, I will guide you into tapping deeper into who she is, because I want more women to embody their fullest expression, deeper intimacy, the confidence. You get to be the muse of your own life. You get to manifest your dream. You get to manifest the partner. You get to manifest the amazing sex life. You get to manifest it all. So are you going to rise? Because darling, it's time. And you may find yourself in the darkest hole. I was there. I do know how it feels. And I'm telling you, there's indeed a light at the end of it all. I am in a place of my life where I've manifested beyond magical moments, beyond my expectations, just by tapping deeper into my feminine frequencies, knowing myself, honoring myself, raising my standards, tapping into my intuition. There's so many things that we forget to tap into because we buy into the I am an independent woman. Don't get me wrong, I am very independent. However, I know how it is to also drop into my feminine and let someone else lead. I could be a boss at work, but I am totally in my feminine, wanting to be led in my relationships. I was a person so driven into building my business. I was overworking. So I know how it is to overwork, and I know how it is now to include pleasure. You can have it all. You can surrender. You can allow yourself to need that man and can be that woman who let her husband really lead, court her, devour her. So yes, when it comes to rising as a Champagne Empress, I want to see you rise. And this is only the beginning. Decide that today you're going to rise and you're going to see your life unfold. I have people ask me, how did I do this? How did I do that? I'm not going to be in my ego and say, well, but it's truly because I know and understand how it all works. I know how to tap into my intuition. I know how to truly surrender. And I let the guidance above guide me. So let your story begin. Let your soul rise into the fullest potential if never seen. Let yourself be guided by the Most High in you. Let the fear that cripples you be the force that breaks barriers. Because, lovely soul, you're meant to be more than you give yourself credit for. So let us see who you are. Let us know you. Let us love you for everything that you are. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I will be coming back next week and we're going to start diving into what it takes to really embody the Champagne Empress. I am excited. I am really hoping to keep journeying with you. And if you are one of those women who need more guidance, who need more support, I do have manifesting in your feminine sessions where I'm able to help you tap deeper into your feminine frequencies, allowing you to see where you can open up to receive more. I guide you through manifestation practices and tools so you can call in more confidence, deeper intimacies, and more pleasure into your life. So if that sounds good to you, you could always email me, or you can find me on Instagram at Georgette Casimir _ and DM me. But rise and embody the Champagne Empress in you. Thank you guys for listening. Catch you next week.